Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Night After Night, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandes, and
I'm Chris Jayawardena. Hello.
We're about to review the Tenants of Revolting, directed by Joel Zwick and written by Rob Harris. It's from season 4 of the show, and I bet you Chris has got some facts about these two gentlemen who produced this episode, don't you, Chris?
Interesting thing about this one. So Rob Harris, this is his only writing credit on anything ever. So in what little research I was able what little I was able to uncover in my research, Rob Harris is a common name, so that makes things a little difficult. He may have not been properly popped into the IMDb for this episode, but he also could have just been a one and done. So I'm not entirely sure there. Joel Zwick, as we've mentioned before, he is still alive and kicking, and you can find interviews with him on the YouTubes. Go on, do it. I dare you. But seriously, he's got a gaggle of stories and seems a really amiable character, so he's fun to listen to. He still has 20 more episodes left in the show as director, but he has directed the majority of season 4 and will go on to direct a large portion of season 5, I believe.
Yes. He does some memorable stuff in season 5. In fact, I think maybe about 3 of the most iconic episodes in the series are attached to his name. So we're going to discover some interesting quirks about his directing process, I hope or think. Here's what the episode's about. Things are falling apart at a rapid pace down at Knapp Street. Well, a more rapid pace than usual. It's freezing in the hallway and over 90 degrees in the girls' apartment. Carmine's light switch is broken, and Lenny and Squiggy's shower head is broken as well. And there's a green thing in their apartment causing rampant havoc. Edna's too overwhelmed to properly attend to everything in a timely manner, giving the girls a lead time of months, forcing Shirley to call a tenants meeting to figure out what to do. Her suggestion is that they get together and fix the problems the building has, but mind scientist Dr. Rex Romano, voodoo doctor, suggests that they get a building inspector on the case. The result of getting the city involved, Edna has 3 days to fix all the violations or face a $2,500 fine. Enraged, she declares that she's going to move home and in with her sisters in Madison, Wisconsin, leaving the building and its responsibilities behind. The girls go with their previous plan, organize the tenants, and get to work. But is it too late? Meanwhile, Lenny and Squiggy try to dodge the influence of Rex Romano via heavy application of tinfoil, and Mrs. Kolchak tries to pick up Carmine. What do you think of this episode?
I wish this one came together better than it does.
Yeah.
I think that's the first impression I have of it.
Yeah.
And it was, I know that I was pretty exhausted when we first watched this, and I dozed off during part of it. And then even when I watched it the second time, I was still kind of dozing off a bit.
Yeah.
For an episode that's basically the tenants and characters getting together to fix the apartment, for an episode that's got a weirdo psychic, that it's got a wonderful bit of physical comedy on the rooftop sequence.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised how underwhelming it was.
Yeah. It's too episodic. It's very, very, very chock-a-block and chunked together for me. There are elements of this episode that are fabulous. Really fabulous and really funny. Some funny lines. Everything about the boys trying to dodge Rex Romano is funny as heck.
Oh, yeah. The tinfoil suits, the glasses. Yes. I love it.
Oh, the ones involved in that are hilarious. But nothing seems to gel with this one. Maybe if everybody had been visibly helping the girls out to repair things, and we got a building montage or fixing up the place montage, it would have worked better. It seems mostly. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I wanted to see the green thing. Like even
me too.
Just some sort of, even if it turns out it's like this jello and you just have like a stagehand just go wiggling it across the table or something.
Yes. How is it different from the other things that live in their apartment? That's what I want to know. Why isn't it named? Why do they want to get rid of it? Because it moves furniture, I guess. But it's so scared everybody is of it. Even the boys are scared of it. It's unique.
Yeah. My first thought when I got to go kill that green thing in Lenny and Squee's apartment, my first thought was, wait, no, don't kill Gumby.
Yeah. My note is green thing is a friend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just either that or it's the blob from Clay Fighter. But in any case, I mean, they've fallen on hard times. I mean, if they're staying at Lenny and Squiggy's house, it's not having a good year, you know? They just need a little help.
The fumes alone will kill it. Oh, goodness. But yeah, this has a lot of good physical bits. It just needs some kind of connective tissue that's stronger than what it gets. It needs to feel like there are higher stakes. If everybody else cared that Edna was about to vacate the premises, maybe it would feel like everybody's teaming up. This is important. These people are their own quasi-family. And it's about, bringing Edna back into the fold. And that would have been better. Maybe it needed like an Edna Frank scene. Or maybe it needed the boys and the girls teaming up to do something together to fix up the place.
Mm-hmm.
But as is, it just feels like there's an ingredient missing every time I see this one.
It also feels like it takes too long to get going, too. Like, it takes like a good, what is it, like 8 or 9 minutes just to get the setup ahead. Yeah. No, it takes longer than that. It takes almost the entire episode to get to the whole ultimatum of, now the building inspector is going to throw them out, in 3 days, or the big fine and all that. Because the thing is, what this reminds me of, it just hit me now as we're talking about it. What it reminds me of is the final 2 episodes of Spaced, where Marcia decides that she's going to sell the place or basically kick everybody out. That becomes all the tenants, with Tim and Daisy and Mike and everybody, together, and Brian saving the day, and doing the whole, they do a tank with a say anything reference. It needs that type of emotional context, because it's interesting that this feels so one-off-ish and episodic when this is sort of, in some respects, I felt like this is an episode that either happens too much as an afterthought and is treated as filler. And it also feels like it happens almost kind of too early. Like, I could see this more as like a season 5, like especially if they knew it was going to keep going, more as a season 5, season 6 episode, where this becomes her really tightening up her fold, but basically realizing she's set roots here. She's not moving back anywhere. Yeah. This is home now.
Yeah. It needs to be more about Edna. It really does need to be more about Edna instead of the girls' reaction to the situation. Yeah, it's just too much about the girls. It needs to be about the girls and everyone. It needs to be about, if you're going to delve into these feelings, it needs to be about everyone and not just that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess you can, go to the beginning and at least say that the frozen sheet stuff is funny.
Oh, it's hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The girls are wearing matching shoes. You notice that?
I think they were.
They are.
I'm gonna review that image.
I promise you that is the truth. I took a screen cap of it.
And matching shoes, blue sneakers with white laces.
Yep,
You're correct.
Yep. I love their summer outfits. Those are really cute.
Oh, and man, the cheers for Laverne's is very very clear.
I heard you hooting audience member. I heard your horniness audience member. It's like that one dude who whistles. I was like, someone's happy.
Yeah.
See a little tiny bit of cleavage. They made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that whole scene of them being on the radiator, and then Edna's, it's like, you never ever kick a radiator. You beat it with a wrench or something.
Yes. Don't talk to it. Just hits his back at you. And Shirley's insistence that her experience in earth science means that she'll be raining in that doorway is cute.
Mm-hmm. It's so
Everyone's
adorable.
Sweating goosebumps. I love all that. And of course, Shirley's ambition is what drives this entire scenario. As always, she wants to be proactive and in charge. And in this case, it just completely backfires on her. Because she just, fails to take Edna's feelings into consideration at all. She's just thinking about getting their problem fixed. I thought
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. It is very appropriately Shirley that she tries, it's another problem I have with the season is just, it's like every time Shirley tries to do something, it seems to fail. It feels like.
Yeah. Which is a fine premise for a sitcom. It just gets monomaniacal when it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Shirley's characterization being flanderized starts a little bit in the season. It happens more in season 6. I think season 5 she kind of gets a pass. But around 5 and 6 is also when Laverne starts to become flattened out into this I like sex, 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 sex. I will have sex anywhere kind of character. So, yeah, it's a writing room foible that they're both subjected to from here on out, basically.
Oh, boy.
Sadly.
But
But
anyway,
it'll be worth it.
that gets us to Edna with the problems,
Yes.
and then the boys with their tinfoil outfit.
Yes! Great entrance here, great door gag. As long as I don't have to touch anything slimy and disgusting.
Hello.
Laverne is so amused by them. She's so amused by those outfits. She's actually sad they stopped wearing the tinfoil suits.
Yeah, she liked them better. I love that detail. It's so cute.
Nah, they were dumb, Laverne.
Oh gosh, yeah, and the whole thing with Rex Romano,
Yes.
who I have a note: Rex Romano, voodoo doctor or Eskimo spy. That is a deep Mystery Science Theater 3000 cut for
Rex
anyone
Dart,
wondering.
Everybody. Rex Dart, everyone.
Yeah.
I loved everything about Lenny's horror. That when show lists off a bunch of foibles that Dr. Romano cures with his mind science, like biting your nails and wetting the bed.
You told them.
Elbows swinging so hard. You told them. I just love. And then Laverne goes to the boys and goes, "You're real amusing." And then he goes, "Thank you." That's cute.
Yeah, there's some definitely cute stuff there. Especially the idea that they use the shower head to wash the couch.
Yes. Just try to picture that in your mind. Just try to imagine the effort it takes, especially with an apartment with 1960s plumbing, trying to do that. And of course, the couch gets washed more often than they do, apparently.
I've known some funky people in my time, and I'm just trying not to imagine that smell.
Oh boy! Just put them in the shower; they'll be fine.
Just glob a bunch of soap over them. Maybe that's the green thing. It's the soap that's attracted their skunkiness.
Perhaps. There you go. Their animal musk, as Squiggy would say.
Night of the living soap.
It's coming for you now.
It's coming for you. Will you stay dirty till dawn?
Oh my god. Dirt till dawn. Dirt till dawn.
We're nerds.
All I can think of is that soap that I saw on Etsy that looks like it's filled with blood, but it's just filled with shower gel. And as you wash, the soap wears away, and you have the experience of dousing yourself in fake blood.
That sounds so freaking cool. Wow.
That's somewhere on Etsy. If you look it up, if you look for it, you will find it. Just look it up.
Oh. Yeah, because that's the only part that's fun about washing off. Because I've been soaked head to toe in fake blood before.
Yeah.
It's the only part that's fun is realizing like, ew, I get to wash. You get to like have that experience of like washing it, seeing it like the little bits of the dye still stuck between and the grooves of your palm or under your nails, and then it looks pink, and then it's not fun anymore.
And then it's just purple. I love Bruce Campbell's statement about fake blood. And the way it dries, and you have to be careful, otherwise your shirt will turn into peanut brittle if you put it close to the heat. Your everything will stick to your everything else.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Yeah.
that is extraordinarily accurate.
God.
Anyway, so back on track. Sorry, folks. Community meeting. That's it's a quick cut. Yeah. And the return of Mrs. Kolchak. I was so happy to see her back.
She's so good. Everything about her desperately wanting to lay her hands on Carmine is hilarious. Shirley sees her as a threat. It's so funny.
That's the funniest part to me. That's the funniest part. I mean, I love this. Even the implication is like, you get your little mitts off of Carmine. It's like, what are they going to do? Elope? And then it's like, you have a couple something to drink. And it's like, she's afraid Carmine's going to get drunk and boink Mrs. Kolchak. It's like, this is an actual fear that Shirley Feeney has.
Yes. Think of what this implies, though. Either she has such a little faith in Carmine's fidelity that she actually thinks this might happen, or she thinks that her inability to hold her liquor is just, a communicable thing with her, between her and Carmine.
Right.
Because Laverne, she got a hollow leg, she'll be all right most of the time. But Carmine's like, what if he gets drunk? What if he gets drunk and runs off with her?
Right.
Oh,
God. But it was so nice to see her back. I love that she'll be back for one more episode. And I also, in researching the actor, I love that she's also in Young Doctors in Love. That was her last role.
Yes, she is.
So now I got to go back and watch that again.
That was such a fun time. That's such a good movie. You don't expect Gary Marshall to put on his own airplane, but he did.
And it was good.
Yeah, it was good. And Michael plays the lead. He's very good in it. He deliberately
I'm curious why you had to bring that up all of a sudden. Just, yeah.
I thought I'd throw it in for our viewers. They would be interested in that because it's a connection back to the show. Thank you. Yeah. It's not entirely about me staring at him with his shirt off. Thank you. If I wanted to do that, I would just look for an episode of Dream On. Anyway.
Oh, nice. But
gracious.
Anyway, so Kolchak,
Yes.
I'm having a hot flash. No, the radiator's broken. That line got me.
The radiator's broken. We're all hot.
And Shirley still thinks she's deaf or hard of hearing.
Yeah, and she's not.
She just doesn't like her.
Yeah. Or it's possible that that's what she thinks all very old people are like. They're all deaf. Maybe it's their experience in life. Could be.
Oh, you know what? It's probably the way her mom treated old people.
Yeah, there you go. Everything leads back to Lillian Feeney. Everything leads back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And to the boys who actually knock on the door. They knock on the door before they come in. That is a small miracle.
Well, they do have the tinfoil sunglasses, so maybe they didn't they didn't know that they it's like, well, we think the door's here, and it's like, well, what? How do we find out? Let's knock. Okay.
That's the only time they ever apply Earth logic to anything. I love that whole bit. The delivery on the lines about Romano. I'm saying something that Romano said to a dog and it dying.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He was dead for a good 5 minutes. I love that. He was just sleeping. Living dead, zombie dog, case closed. Makes me laugh every time the delivery is so perfect. So perfect. Mm-hmm. And enter Carmine trying to brainwash Shirley into sticking her tongue in his mouth.
Which, he deserved every bit of that pain that he just got.
Why would you challenge Shirley Feeney? You could knock a man out with one punch, and that is canon. Why would you do that? And he knows this is true. Oh, goodness. I love it. You're my slave of love.
It's another moment of Carmine just being such an ass. God.
He's had some moments in this season. He had some major moments in this season where you just want to knee him in the balls. The last episode in this season coming up is just a nonstop festival of me wanting to take my knee and just ram it up into his groin. Nonstop.
It's like, that's just on your calendar is like, okay, knee Carmine in the nuts 4 times. Okay. Tomorrow, what do we got? Okay. Knee Carmine in the nuts 15 times. Okay. What do we got for Thursday? All right. Knee Carmine in the nuts another 15 times. Okay. Good. Yeah.
You know who's actually charmed by Carmine right now? Mrs. Kolchak. And her hand goes right on his knee. And he's amused by the whole situation.
I did find that cute. That was actually amusing.
That is really cute.
Yeah. So we haven't actually gotten to Rex Romano, who gets his introduction here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So Richard Libertini what's funny is he's a character actor in a plethora of different odd roles that are kind of similar to this. I mean, he had a recurring role, I guess, on Mary Hartman, which is another connection between this show and that one. But he often plays like professions such as a doctor, a salesman. He's even the vaudeville leader in Days of Heaven, apparently, which I haven't seen yet, actually, as of this recording.
Huh.
He even plays a similar role to this. He's a guest spot in Supernatural in that show's season 4 in the episode Chris Angel is a Douchebag. So
that is amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that. but that is perfect. That is
His-
perfect for him. Like, wow.
I feel like his character doesn't belong in this episode. I understand they're trying to be like, I think they wanted the tenants to revolt against Edna. And
Yeah.
so, they wanted like a mentalist to, manipulate people, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't. This is the thing. I don't mind either of these two concepts. I just don't feel like they mesh well with the way they're integrated here, and they end up taking too much of each other's time.
Exactly. They don't. And Rex Romano never gets a proper comeuppance for doing this. His logic is skewed, and he's clearly leading the boys like puppets at one point. But the show never calls him out for causing Edna a lot of grief, basically. It just feels like there's an emotional punch missing here. Or if you don't want to have an emotional punch, don't make the stakes so high. So this is like, you can't have one thing and then the other thing and then mush the two things together. It's like, once again, tuna fish and scooter pies.
Mm-hmm.
Vern. But yeah, I have a note here that says Rex Romano is being given way too much control, and that is true. She just cedes the floor to him, to his idea, and it's like, you don't even barely know this dude.
Yep. And the implication is, he's kind of weird. He's got he's got a reputation of being kind of this oddball. He kind of smells funny. Like this is I guess it's hard for me to believe without him actually being a little bit psychic that he would be able to manipulate that many people that quickly into a revolt against their landlady. I don't know. It just didn't, it doesn't work for me in this episode, but on his own, that would be an interesting episode, either as a villain or an anti-hero or someone they have to help or whatever,
Yeah, he'd make a fine friend for Lenny and Squiggy, ironically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be the type of guy they hang out with. Yeah.
Right. Oh, gosh. I was going to say, it's almost like they needed, when they fall through the roof or create the hole in the roof at the end, they needed to go into Rex's apartment and realize that he is up to something nefarious and reveal him and oust him as like a criminal or something.
That would actually be interesting. That would have led somewhere.
Yeah, like I don't know, like he's kidnapped, like that's the dog that went to sleep. He kidnapped this famous dog, and they get the reward money, which helps pay the fine or helps pay for the repairs or something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, that would have been great. That would have been interesting. That would have been very interesting, and much better than what we get, to be frank.
I think this is the point that I talked to Gary Marshall's ghost or to the alternate dimension Gary Marshall and say, I'm available. My rates are about $50 a word.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Gary, Laverne and Lenny's canon now. There's nothing you can do about it. Come back to the side if you want to fight with me. Anyway. We love you, Gary Marshall, wherever you are. Okay. So next scene. The girls are sitting on a giant ice cube in bikinis. This has to be fan service for someone. Who I don't know, but it's fan service.
Wow. my hands in the air. My hands in the air. I did not mind that. I mean, more it was cute more than it was like a turn on. But Penny's was very, very nice. I liked it very much. Anyway,
well, that's because she had great legs. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said,
and just that the muscle tone was amazing. But anyway, I still love but just that the gag is super cute though. I'm on my half and you're on your half. I can't help if you need a bigger half.
Yeah. One of my cheeks are warm, one of them's cold. It's fabulous. And enter poor Edna, who was infuriated for obvious reasons and understandable reasons. And just, the way she explains the economy of the building and how it's pretty much kept alive is kind of startling, isn't it? Just like,
it is. Yeah.
I think they managed to keep everything going is beyond me sometimes. Because wow.
Yeah, look, it's just half the tenants are at least a month behind. Like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And the fact that none of them have ever had a raise since she took over. So that means this is year after year because she's run the place for 3 years now, and they've had no increase in the rent. Like that. Yeah, I'm amazed.
That both shows how little money all of them make and how poor the neighborhood is. In one fell stroke. You can imagine how much that building would be worth. It must not be worth very much, considering, how little money she's pulling off of it, in a way. So, Yep. But I feel bad for Edna, and you feel bad for Shirley because Shirley's just trying. She just wants things to be better. And Edna wants things to be better too. She just doesn't have the time. And she probably has some of the know-how, but not all the know-how to do this. And so she's like stuck between a rock and a hard place, and her reaction is just basically to flip everything off and get really mad. And I can't blame her in one way. But another way, it is immature for her to run off completely and not even really sell the building. She said she was going to sell the building, but she doesn't, bring in any prospective buyers or anything.
Right. She just said she's moving back to her sister's place, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Her sister, whom she hates. So, and it's like, there could have been so much tension wrung from that. Say she does that, and they bring in prospective landlords to tour the place, and everybody gets together to scare this person off because they want Edna back.
Mm-hmm. It's another typical sitcom idea, but it's still, it works.
Yeah.
It sells the brand.
Yeah, it needs to sell the emotions. You gotta sell the emotions. If you're not selling the emotions, you ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
So then the girls, I love the way the girls finish each other's sentences when it comes to trying to figure out what they're going to do next. No, he already knows about that. I can get Carmine. No, it never works with him. What never works with him? But I love when they do that.
Yeah. And it's how about, no, they know,
Yeah.
It's very cute. Again, it's one of those, like, I love this bit, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't, all of this doesn't add up. I don't know. I love them running. I was just gonna, sorry, go ahead.
That's the problem. There's no cohesion. There needs to be so much more connective tissue. I'm just lacking connective tissue. It's driving me nuts. This one. But go ahead. You're saying.
I was just going to say that the whole bit of them, because that's even the thing, this leads up even to this great punchline of them going out the door and then coming back in because they ran out into the 25-degree weather in bikinis. I know. And they're wet.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's going to be so chilly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's just really good physical acting, but like they look actually genuinely freezing coals. I don't know if they put like an ice machine nearby over there, or if they had, because they look colder when they come back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's possible they're still cold from sitting on those ice cubes.
Also true. Yeah.
So I think those are real ice cubes.
And they just finally flex the muscles.
I think those are real ice cubes. So
yeah, they seem like it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
Everything's possible. It's movie television magic. The magic of television.
Magic. TV.
Magic. And suddenly, these wonderful, wondrous things will suddenly take place, and then everything will be spontaneously in ways that logic are transcended and rules are broken. And I don't know where I'm going with this bit of a joke, but anyway, let's move on.
Why are you James Mason?
Oh, my James Mason's quite different than that, actually.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I thought that was your James. Oh, okay. He sounded like Eddie Izzard's version of James Mason. Do I hear?
I actually haven't heard Eddie's version of that yet. I should look that up.
You need to watch more Eddie Izzard. Becky and I have been watching a ton of Eddie Izzard lately. That's what we've been doing on Saturdays. Watched Dress to Kill last weekend.
I've watched part of that. That's a really good one.
You watched the whole thing. How have you not seen the whole thing? Oh my God. Hi, I'm a huge Eddie Izzard fan.
And welcome back to Night After Night, where we're going to be talking about Eddie Izzard for the next 50 minutes.
And jam, and cats, and toast, and keyboards, and grandmas with big hats. And our Eddie Izzard loving segment of the audience will appreciate that moment. Anyway, back to the episode. We do get a really great little bit of physical comedy where the girls are on the roof. They've done all the chores on the roof. Mrs. Kolchak takes the ladder away, and they're stuck up there and tethered to one another. Let's break this one down. First of all, the girls are wearing the boys' coveralls.
Yes, I noticed those seem familiar, and I was like, I don't think I've seen them wear that. Now you mention it's like, yes, that's a good one. It's good detail.
Those are definitely their work coveralls, because the girls do not have work coveralls like that, and that's for the delivery drivers. And the boys were just seen literally wearing those the last episode, and so yeah, they borrowed their coveralls to go do some dirty jobs. Interesting in of itself.
Mm-hmm.
When Laverne says, "Wait, you tied the rope to me, and we're tied to each other, And if I go over the edge of this roof, you come with me. And then Shirley goes, well, wouldn't you want it that way? It's like, wow.
Mhm.
Wow. There's so much to be said about that single line between the codependent nature of their friendship in a way and the very notion of, I don't want to live without you. That's,
Mhm.
it's powerful in its way, but even for a throwaway line.
So that, because that brings me back to the Russian pair, the husband and wife Russian pair in Pacific Rim.
Yes.
And you see where I'm going with this.
Yes.
And so, because for anyone who doesn't know, in Pacific Rim, the mech pilots, they have escape pods. The Russians do not, because they basically want to go down with the ship because they know the probability of both of them surviving is kind of small, and they don't want to live without the other. So they basically, it's like, if we go down, and we go down together. And so that's kind of where we're going with this. Now I'm starting to think of, are Laverne and Shirley drift compatible?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lenny and Squiggy are drift compatible, too.
Mm-hmm.
Laverne and Lenny are definitely drift compatible as well.
Mm-hmm.
Frank and Edna, too. Carmine and Shirley, I don't think are, which is sad.
No. Shirley and Squiggy would be in a weird way, in kind of the weird way that, like, they don't want to be. It's in the same way, in the same way as Newt and Herman.
Yeah. I was about to say, well, if they're drift compatible, is the mission all about them trying to seduce the kaiju? Because it's the only thing Squiggy.
Yeah.
Sadly. It's like, they would be fighting, though. They'd have one half of the suit going this way and one half of the suit going the other direction. I can picture this in my head now. It's pretty. It's perfect.
Anyway.
Yeah,
so,
but the girls are so drift compatible. They are so drift compatible. Even if they fight, they are in perfect harmony. They love each other more than anything. As Penny Marshall once said, they are sisters, they would do anything for one another. And they're drift compatible as heck.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I guess we should drift back to the episode. So Mrs. Kolchak, she takes it away. There's the coveralls. There's the rope tie thing. I do love that Kolchak taking the ladder because she wants Shirley to die so that she can have Carmine alter herself. And I realize this suddenly has turned into an Alfred Hitchcock premise.
That is dark. Dark show. Incredibly dark.
I didn't think that lady was strong enough to move the ladder. I love that line delivery.
But she's not strong enough to hold it. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Cheryl. Use some logic there. I love Laverne running to the edge of the roof and going, maybe someone's smuggling winos in the alley.
Oh, I love that bit too. Yes. Also, before we get too far, plunger to the mouth. My note for that is, oh, hi, Phantom of the Paradise.
Yes. Oh, beef. I only think it was beef. The revelation that Laverne never picked Shirley for her tug of war team. Gasp.
Yeah.
Gasp. Well, we know Shirley is not athletically inclined usually, to the point where she's actually been demoted off of the Shots baseball team into being a cheerleader. So I can kind of see her going, Shirley, you go with them.
Mm-hmm.
You're ruining my team average. The interesting thing about Knapp Street building is that we eventually learn next season that you can survive a fall from the top, this top story, to the ground.
That doesn't seem possible with how far up they appeared, especially because there's that B-roll shot looking up the building.
Yeah,
it's like 3 or 4 stories.
Yeah, I know. It was 4 stories. 4 stories.
4
up.
stories. You're not. I mean, you might live you'll live long enough to regret it. Yeah.
Oh, this is canon. Someone falls out of a window on the top flight and survives. This is canon.
Oh, what the hell, show?
We'll get there. It'll make sense, and you actually might like that episode. So we'll get there. We will get there. So according to later canon, you could probably jump off that roof and only break a couple of limbs and not die. So it's an interesting little factoid to think of. their own way. I love you and I love this rope. I love you and I love this rope.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great callback to Laverne and Shirley Meet Fabian. That was a great bit.
Yes. Which the more that I think about it, is probably one of my favorite early physical comedy episodes for the show. It still holds up, everything that happens on that window ledge. This is a fairly well-known stunt for them, this whole roof bit where they're trying to fall off, and they're trying to get attention and get off the side of the roof. And but it's not like one of the absolute best-known physical comedy bits that they did. But it's good.
It feels a bit protracted for me.
Yeah,
that's part of what it does. There are some stunts that, if you were really existing in that situation, that's very tense. But there's a point when you create the certain circumstances that it starts to feel not as, it's just to weaken the tension a little bit.
Yeah.
This one just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't. I liked it, but I didn't love it, I guess is what I mean.
This episode's biggest problem is its pacing, really.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's pacing problems and there's plotting problems. It could have used another good once-over by an editor to fix everything up. So.
Yep. I agree.
I don't know, it's just my prerogative. The spot that Penny jumps towards is so clearly covered with construction paper.
Yes, it is.
You can see that it's paper. You can tell the difference in quality of material as she carefully counts her hops and then goes right through.
Yep. Yeah, there's some points that you can't get around it. Either it's a rush job or it's the materials used, and sometimes this is being practical. Like you can't, you don't always want to trust like little like cork board or whatever, because it doesn't always give on human weight. Tissue paper, newspaper, newsprint, whatever. It's just painted over. It's fine.
Yeah, like it's fine. And honestly, the lighting is the only thing that really gives it away.
Yeah,
it's just the lighting. If they rejiggered the lighting a little tiny bit, nobody would notice. So. Which
of course is then difficult because they need the lighting to match for when Squiggy pops his head out, and with for some reason my note here is, why is he wearing underwear on his hat?
Is he wearing underwear on it? All I noticed is his sleeping cap. That's the only thing I ever noticed in that scene. I noticed there was underwear on
this
it.
This must have been my notes from when I was like half asleep. I'm checking here, and yep, there it goes. Okay, I'm double checking the episode, folks. We're getting breaking news update. And
Future Chris added this out.
Oh, you're right. That is a sleeping cap.
Yep.
Why did I think those were briefs?
Because you were half awake.
The hell is wrong with me?
Hey, everybody's their flaw. Everybody has those moments where you're like half awake because the episode is bad, and it's like, okay. Oh, but what? What did I just see? Yeah. It's worth noting here, though. She falls onto Squiggy's bunk and not Lenny's. I thought Lenny had the top bunk and Squiggy had the bottom bunk.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. That also means that the chimney being right there means that technically that chimney should lead to like a fireplace, like some sort of fire piping, whatever.
Yeah.
That technically goes through. I'm just trying to figure. Yeah, that doesn't make a logical geographical sense, because that leads straight, based on the geography, that would probably lead straight down onto their. Oh my God, there's so many ways this doesn't make it. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna think about this anymore, because otherwise I'm gonna have to start drawing diagrams. I have to go full cheaty. I'm gonna get a stomach ache. I'm not gonna do this.
I was going to say that the chimney portion of the roof is probably right off screen, right where the audience peeks into their apartments. That's where the chimney side is, where that other wall is my best guess.
But then there's a problem with the fact that then there's the window ahead of, like I said,
no, the window is over on the other side of the room. The window's over on the other side of the room. Which would be near the head of the bunks. So I guess I would.
Right.
I think.
No, I'm totally doing a photographic comparison. We're gonna blow this wide open on Twitter when this episode comes out.
Do it. You've got plenty of time. As of our we are recording this in November of 2020. You probably aren't going to hear this until around summer of 2022.
No, I think maybe late December of 2021 or January 2022. It's gonna be a bit.
Hey, well, you got plenty of time. Future Chris, remember this.
Just gonna put that on my recording notes.
I'm just picturing you cheating about this. That's what broke me. The chimney. The chimney broke me.
Chimneys, how do they work? They're like goddamn magnets.
The magnets. Yeah, I was gonna make the magnet joke. You beat me to it. We do end with some nice, cute, fluffy stuff. Where Frank goes down and gets Edna and tries to hold his breath unless she comes back with him. And Edna forgives them and apologizes for her behavior, loving hugs, everyone's happy. Everything is cute.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go. Okay. It's I love, everyone argues about who gets to go first, and now, Papa's like, yeah, it's like a bunch of kids. All right, let's settle this like grown-ups. 1 potato, 2 potato. It goes into kids' games to pick who goes first conversation. Yeah. It's there's a lot of, I agree. This ending scene is very, very cute.
Yes. Appended to a better episode, it would have done itself better, a stronger service, is all I'm gonna say. Because, as is, it's like, oh, this is cute, but it could be more. Could mean more. And then, of course, we get that final scene where Edna talks about raising the rent, and the girls try to butter her up to get her to drop it, and it goes bit by bit, lower and lower. I want to hear the song that Lenny and Squiggy wrote.
Yeah, that needs to exist. Michael, if you're still around, man, please, just you gotta do this for us, man. Just come up with something.
Yes, I wonder if there is a it's kind of like Happy Birthday, Mrs. B, only different.
Right.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, we're getting close to ranking time. I do believe this might, in fact, be ranking time unless you get some other stuff to say.
I think I'm good. I mean, I did like that Frank is getting a back rub when we come back for the tag scene. That was cute. But that was it. I mean, I'm noticed because I'm looking at how much time we've been talking about this episode, and it feels like the reason we've had to like get kind of tangential and like get distracted by things is there sadly is kind of a lack of things to talk about. It's a episode that I don't feel offended by, but I just feel kind of bored. That was my feeling.
Yeah, that's a sad thing. This is such a mediocre one. This is got some cute moments. I feel like there needs to be more payoff. There needs to be more connecting incidents. There needs to be a stronger emotional punch or a stronger comedic punch. As it is, it just feels like a bunch of scenes that were woven together into a single experience, and it doesn't work that way very well. That's my thoughts. You want to rate first?
Yeah. God, I don't know if I should be this harsh. Just a flat 5. I think I'm just going to give a flat 5. Yeah. I almost want to go for a 4.5, but that just feels like it's too far.
Yeah. We'll get to the 4s and the 3s and the 2s and the 1s, and I have at least 2 episodes that I'll be giving flat 0s to. They're coming. Season 8. For me, this is a 5.4. I think that's 5.2. So 5.2. I can't rank it too far below the equator line because the Mrs. Kolchak and Carmine stuff is cute. The Lenny and Squiggy stuff with Romano, even though it doesn't really pay off very well, is funny. The boys in the little tinfoil suits are funny. The roof stunt is pretty funny, and the stuff with Edna is sweet. It just needs to be more. It fails to be more. It's just like an average episode of the show. That's what's unfortunate.
Yep. It's pretty much sums up a lot of my feelings too. Yeah, it's well said. Yeah. Bummer.
Indeed.
Anyway, so I guess if that's all for today, if you enjoyed this episode and would like to know more, please join us at Night After Night PC on Twitter or Night After Night Pod on Facebook, Tumblr, WordPress, Patreon. and other such places with which, I don't know, there might be like some new bunches of social media stuff out by the time we get this episode to come out. It might be like, I don't know, we're injecting this into our eyeballs, or we have a social media thing where we communicate through nanomachines that we all get through the Pfizer medical vaccines. I don't know. Who cares? But yeah, Night After Night Pod or Night After Night PC on Twitter. Thanks again, everybody. And I just was down at the bar earlier, and Lisa, there's something in my beer. What is that?
That would be a spy. Laverne thinks she sees an industrial spy at Shots. No one believes her, and she has to prove that she was right. There's a spy in my beer.
All right, so we'll get to that next week, and we hope you folks are doing okay out there in the future. I hope we're doing okay in the future.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood, we're all still here.
Yeah. And you know what? If you meet somebody that you think you're drift compatible with, invite them to a Jaeger match. Why not?
Yeah. Go get some kaiju, kids. Go get some kaiju.
Yeah, just smash up some monsters and save some cities or something. I don't know. Anyway, and
the
other thing also is be very careful with your clotheslines in the winter, because it's you don't want to deal with frozen underwear garments. Oh, geez.
Don't tell your dog secret messages. It might turn them into zombies.
Yeah, that's definitely something we should try to avoid. I'm just rambling at this point now.
The ramble episode by